First Alert 5 weather.
And we're seeing wall-to-wall sunshine all throughout the Pikes Peak region this afternoon, from Cheyenne Mountain up to our Rock Rimmon studios. Really a nice day in spite of those cold temperatures, and with still a little bit of daylight left, there might be time for a walk around the neighborhood before the sun sets around 5:30 this evening. Right now in town, we're sitting at 44 degrees. You can see in downtown area, it looks like dusk is settling upon us with light winds out of the south-southeast at about 11 miles per hour. Still clear skies, a blue sky kind of a day in Pueblo that continues this evening, and those clear skies will allow for temperatures to drop off rather quickly, especially after sunset. And by tomorrow morning, we could be back down to the lower to middle teens there in the Steel City. Right now, we find ourselves between two weather makers, one bringing some snow and rain tonight across New Mexico, parts of Texas and the deep south. And this next one, this is our next winter weather maker, a cold front area of low pressure that will bring some pretty big changes to the region over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, much like what I said yesterday, this is going to be more of a wind maker than anything else, and that is because this low pressure moves to our east, high pressure builds in quickly behind that. That is going to create a tight difference in pressure known as a pressure gradient, and that causes those north winds to really accelerate around both weather systems. Strong north winds expected to develop Wednesday night. They peak Thursday morning, and for the eastern plains, you're going to bear the brunt of these strong gusts. In fact, these areas under high wind watches from Thursday at 5 a.m. until Thursday afternoon at 5 p.m. Gusts here could top 60 to even 65 miles per hour, blowing dust to concern, as well as down trees and power outages and difficulty driving, especially on east-west oriented roadways, as that wind would be perpendicular to you. Take a look at Futurecast here. You can see during the day on Wednesday, we get that westerly downslope. Then as the front arrives Wednesday night, it's a quick shift from a west downslope wind to a much colder Canadian north wind. So not only do we get the wind in the forecast, we'll get a few snow showers, especially north of the Palmer Divide, and also some much colder temperatures as we make our way into the day on Thursday. Now, even here for the I-25 corridor, we think we could easily see gusts around 30 to 50, where I think the winds are a little bit weaker is out west of us, up towards the upper Arkansas River Valley, Woodland Park, and Teller County. You'll be a little protected from that stronger north wind. Your gusts likely to stay around 20 to 35. Again, moisture seriously lacking. This is going to be one of those snow big deal type of snow events. If you see any at all, maybe up to an inch around the Palmer Divide out towards Calhan and Rama, maybe an inch or so around Woodland Park. A trace possible or light dusting is what that means for Pueblo, the Springs, La Junta, and Cañon City, and maybe possibly a few inches of accumulation out across the southern mountains. Here's a look at overnight lows tonight. It will be cold once again with clear skies and light winds. That allows for good radiational cooling as the heat from today escapes back into the atmosphere. Tomorrow with those westerly winds, they won't be necessarily breezy or strong, but it's that downslope wind that warms the air around it. So we'll be around 54 in Pueblo, 54 in Cañon City, and 50 degrees in the Springs. Take a look at your super 7-day forecast. Again, the flurries secondary to the wind, and I want to do a breakout here. So we're likely to be weather alert by Thursday morning. Very light, limited snowfall, but those peak gusts around 30 to 50 miles per hour will be a shingle shaker. We'll also be cold in the afternoon and frigid that night with a low down to 9. Rest of the 7-day forecast looks relatively quiet here. For Pueblo, it's a one and done type storm Wednesday night to Thursday. Wind more than anything else. Friday's high at 50. Just a little warm up from what we'll see by the weekend. 65 Saturday, 55 on Sunday. Cañon City, I've got 50s tomorrow, but we're dropping all the way down to the 30s, just barely above the freezing mark on Thursday afternoon. And then by Friday to Saturday, here comes the warmth. Start of the weekend, we start at 62 degrees. Woodland Park, quick look at this 7-day forecast. 26 on Thursday. We'll be down to 1 that night with 40s and 50s from Friday through the weekend. Stay with us. We'll have more News 5 coming up after the break.